This video is going to be about basically joints and uh, any kind of tissue that is causing you any kind of arthritis, whether it's uh, a joint or the bone or whatever around it. A lot of times, if uh, if you take a multivitamin and then you take glucosamine, chondroitin, and MSM. You can take shark cartilage and um, vitamin D and calcium uh, and zinc. It's all important to take. um, and then some of the other things that you should do for your joints too is there's a number of herbs you can look up. Various herbs. There's something like 30 different herbs that are good for your bones and joints. Uh, a lot of times, like in my neck, I herniated my neck, and so I looked up online. I'm like, stenosis, and which stenosis is where the port nerves go, or there's holes, and then the nerves go through them and they shrink. And so when it shrinks onto the nerve, it causes a lot of pain and discomfort and everything, and dizziness, etc. And also inflammation and bone grindings from, like if you're bone on bone or close to bone on bone, or if you have a lot of weight on you, like if you're a weightlifter, or you do crazy things, like you know, like I used to run the hills, and I would throw a rock on my shoulder or a log, and I would run up a mountain. I have one video of me doing it, and that was it. But I used to do it all the time, and I did um, uh, just a lot of anything that would, I had a weight head harness, a weighted head harness, and it was a pad. It was like I think it was like 5 to 10 pounds, and I'd go run with that thing, which is not a good idea. I mean, it's just jarring the neck, and it's not building the muscle, not really. I mean, full range reps are better, and a lot of people, they go throw logs in their shoulder and go run up a mountain. I mean, you can look at that as saying it's real world strength, and it does fall into that, but there's a limit. There's if you do things like that, you're gonna have bad damage. I mean, it's gonna happen. Right now, um, I was warned over and over by the doctors. I've had my chiropractors, and uh, had a surgeon, and then had some other doctors comment on my X-rays, and they said that most of them said don't lift over 300 pounds. In fact, I think actually about just a little over half of them said to not go lift over 300 pounds. Most of them said to lift really, really light from here on out. They're like, if I were you, I wouldn't even lift weights. It was a couple of them, and you know, and a couple of them were like, oh, just lift with lightweight, like 100 pounds, and bench press a lot, etc. And I thought, well, what's the point if I'm going to be lifting hardly any weight? There's no real point in it. I'll just do calisthenics. So um, but anyway, back to the joint thing. I had been in a whiplash with a haul truck, and it whiplashed my head to the side like that, and it herniated I believe it's my C4. And when my head whiplashed, boom, like that back, it pinched off part of my disc, and then the bone hit together so hard it part of it busted. Little grindings broke off, and all the years of my wrestler's bridges that I did caused my discs to kind of sit at a triangular shape, and so my neck was sitting funny. Um, And then I was over here building the crap out of my neck, doing reps with my head harness, and I had a lot of weight. I had a lot of weight, and um, it just, and I knew it was hurting me, but I thought, the old saying, the pain leaving the body thing, or, you're not getting anywhere if you don't push through the pain, and so on and so forth. And everybody's got their own, mantra or whatever. But anyway, if you take the thing that is really, really good um, to build up tissues is gelatin, like unflavored gelatin. You can put it in like smoothies. You can put it in your coffee and stir it up and drink it. I was drinking a couple packets a day, 3 or 4 packets a day. And, I started getting stiff in my neck, because I think it was building up excess in there. And then but my pain went away pretty fast. But then I started losing function. Like my neck wouldn't move entirely like I needed it to. And I'm like, yeah, that's not good. And then I was kind of addicted to these protein shakes for a little bit. So I was drinking 2 a day, and then or 3 a day, I should say. And then I was eating like 6 of those gelatin packs. And so the 6 of those, excuse me, second, the 6 of those built my neck up, started causing me issues. So I looked online, and this surgeon was saying that you should try enzymes, uh, you know, uh, like a multi-enzyme formula. So it's got like, I don't even know how many enzymes, like 10 or something like that. And so you take them, and it actually eats away any extra, like, when it's shrinking around on those where the nerve goes through the portholes, and it'll open them back up. And it also helps you get rid of um, scar tissue buildup. A lot of people don't know that, but enzymes are amazing. Like, man, I started taking them after I tore my shoulder, my left shoulder. I couldn't raise my arm up like this much. I couldn't do it, and so I ended up, I started taking enzymes, and within 3 weeks, I could put my hand over my head again, and because I didn't want to have surgery. They wanted me to have surgery. And then I talked to this guy, and he told me that he dislocated his shoulder severely, and he didn't want to have surgery. So they gave him this rubber band. And so he would tie it, on one end, and then he would stretch it and keep his elbow by his body, and he would just pull it out. And then he would do the opposite, and it built the rotator cuff, and so he I didn't have to have surgery. And so I started doing the rubber band training, and I got full range of my shoulder again with that. But with the enzyme, it got rid of the scar buildup, so and it gets rid of the bone fragments that's floating around in your neck, the excess inflammation. It actually helps get rid of inflammation too. So a lot of people don't realize that sugar, when you start taking in tons of sugar and caffeine and things like that, it's coffee, bad foods like like a lot of deep fried fatty foods. Man, it will mess up your joints, messes up your stomach, it messes up everything. So I mean, I'm not saying don't have fries once in a while, but don't have fries freaking like, every day of the week, and so on and so forth. You're gonna, because you'll pay for it. It's it's actually, those things have like saved me a lot. So you know uh there's a lot of good things out there for your joints. So check them out. And you'd be surprised, and please comment and tell me, if you have similar things going on with you and what you take. It's always good to have replies too, because people ask me questions, and you might be more knowledgeable in a specific area than me. And so or you've done more things, more herbs or more whatever, and you've had great luck with it. And so, but anyway, this is part one of the joint health thing. This is all about the nutritional section. I'm probably going to do a second one on, talking about stretches and exercises, and just that way we can kind of, you know, focus on each one at the moment. So, but anyway, try out some of that stuff and tell me what you think. All right, take care.